वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्मविद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च। You can repeat the Sangati Bhashyam. एवं पुरुषे आत्मनि
एवं पुरुषे
आत्मनि
सर्वं प्रविलाप्य
सर्वं प्रविलाप्य
नामरूपकर्मत्रयम्
नामरूपकर्मत्रयम्
यन्मिथ्याज्ञानविजृम्भितम्
यन्मिथ्याज्ञानविजृम्भितम्
क्रियाकारकफललक्षणम्
क्रियाकारकफललक्षणम्
स्वात्मयाथात्म्यज्ञानेन मरीचि उदकरज्जुसर्प गगनमलिना मलनाइव मरीचि उदकरज्जुसर्प गगनमलानि इव
मरीचि उदकरज्जुसर्प गगन
मरीचि रज्जु गगनस्वरूप दर्शनेन एव
मरीचि रज्जु गगन स्वरूप
दर्शनेन एव स्वस्थः प्रशान्तात्मा कृतकृत्यः भवति यतः अतः तद्दर्शनार्थम् उत्तिष्ठत जाग्रत प्राप्य वरान् निबोधत शुद्धस्य धारा निशिता दुरत्यया
स्वरस्य धारा निशिता दुरत्यया
दुर्गं पतस्तत्कवयो वदन्ति
दुर्गं
दुर्गं पतस्तत्कवयो वदन्ति
We have seen the Samvriti Bhashyam. Now we will see the mantra. Uttishtata Jagrata Prapyavaran Nibodhata. Here, Yamadharmaraja says, in general, to the sadhakas and specific to the Nachiketa. Uttishtata. Uttishtata means get up. Uttishtata. May you get up. Get up to what? Get up to the reality. Get up to the reality. To get up to the reality of what you seeking, because there is a seeking, there is a search. Therefore, you be awake, you get up to the reality. Jagrata, be awake to the reality. Jagrata, Uttishtata, rise. Jagrata, wake up. Uttishtata, Jagrata, rise and wake up. But generally it is the other way. We wake up and then rise. We wake up and then we get up. But here Upanishad says, Uttishtata Jagrata. In case of these children, they have to be, in case of children, they are sleeping, they will not wake up and get up. So they have to be got up and then wake up. This is how we have a commentator presents. Why Uttishtata Jagrata? For the grown-up people, it is like that. For the grown-up people, we wake up and then get up. Whereas for the children, it is Uttishtata. They have to be made get up and then you have to wake them up. And here we will find the Bhashya, our Bhashyakara justifies this order. Uttishtata Jagrata. Uttishtata. Uttishtata means may you get ready for Atma Jnanam. May you get Jnana Yogyata. May you get Jnana Yogyata. Uttishtata. May you turn your attention towards Atma Jnanam. That is Uttishtata. To whom he addresses, He Mumukshavaha, He Adhikarinaha, Janaha, Jnanaya Uttishtata. Jnanaya Uttishtata. Atma Jnana Praptaye Uttishtata. He Adhikarinaha, Jivaha Uttishtata. So, it means Jnana Yogyata Prapyata Ityartaha. May you get the preparedness for Atma Jnana. Get ready for Atma Jnana. Then Jagrata. Jagrata means may you wake up. May you wake up from the sleep. Sleep of Ajnana. From the sleep of ignorance. May you wake up from the sleep of ignorance. Ajnana Rupa Nidram Tyajata. Wake up means you have to give up the Ajnana. Ajnana Rupa Nidra. Ajnana is the Nidra. which is the nidra, which is a sleep. So you give up the sleep of ignorance. So wake up. Moha nidram, ajnana nidram, tyajata, give up. So jagrata. Jagrata is chandasam. The word should be jagrata. Jagrata is the Madhyama Purusha Bhagavachana form of the dhatu, Jagru dhatu. Jagru dhatu, it is in the second gana, Adadi gana dhatu. Jagartu, Jagrutam, Jagratu, Jagruhi, Jagrutam, Jagruta. Madhyama Purusha Bhagavachanam is Jagruta. Jagarani, Jagaraba, Jagarama. Uttama Purusha. So here Uttishtata, Jagrata, Nibodhata, all these are Madhyama Purusha, Bhagavachana Rupam. So Jagrata, it is Chandasam. Chandasa Prayogam. Jagrata is equal to Jagrata. So Moha Nidram Tejata Ityartaha. Then Prapyavaran Nibodhata. Very important part. Prapyavaran Nibodhata. Varan. Vara means the best. Varan Prapya. Varan Prapya. Varan Prapya. Prapya means Upagamya. Samipe Gatva. That Upasanna is very important. It is presented in all the Upanishad. That Upasadana Vidhi. Approaching the Varan. Varan is Acharya. Sreshta Purushan Acharya. Gurun. Sakshatkaran Gurun Prapya. Gurun Upagamya. Like how Shaunaka approached Angiras. Shaunakaha Angirasam Vidivatu Upasannah Papracha. Vidivatu Upasannaha Papracha. That Upasadanam, Upagamya, that is Prapya, having approached. And this Upagamya comes in almost all the Upanishad. The protocol is mentioned. Approaching the teacher. Even in Kaivalya Upanishad, Ata Ashvalayano Bhagavantam Parameshtinam Upasametyo Vacha Upasametya Uvacha. Upasadanam. Even in Taittiriya, Brahur Vairunihi Varunam Pitaram Upasasara Pitaram Upapasara Pitaram Upapasara. Approached. Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya. Having approached the teacher, then you ask. That is the Vidhi, Upasadana Vidhi, the protocol. So Gurun Prapya. Prapya, Upagamya, Kan Upagamya, Varan, Gurun, Upagamya, Nibodhata. Nibodhata. Nishchayena Bodhata. Nibodhata, Nishchayena Bodhata. Varan Prapya, Nishchayena Bodhata. Varan Acharyan Prapya. Having attained, approached the Varan, the best. Vara is best. Varan Acharya. Not that it is in Bhagavachanam, therefore you have to approach many teachers. Teachers, Varan Prapya, having approached the best, the excellent teachers. Teachers refers to the teachers of the tradition. Nibodhata. Nibodhata, you understand. So, Nibodhata, the understanding is possible only when you wake up. Only when you get up from the sleep. When you get up from the sleep and ready for receiving the knowledge, then only understanding is possible. So therefore, starting from gaining the yogyata, the adhikaritvam, and removal of ajnanam by knowing the vastu, That is possible only by approaching the right teachers. That is what the Upanishad says in the first line. Uttishtata Jagrata Prapyavaran Nibodhata iti. Prapyavaran Nibodhata. Here you can see that all these are in Lot Lakara. The Kriya Padams are in Lot Lakara. Veda is generally Vidhi Nisheda Paraha. Veda is Vidhi Nisheda Paraha. Vedaha. It ordains and prohibits. It commands you to do certain things, and at the same time, it commands not to do certain things. So Vidhi, to be done. Nisheda, not to be done. Do's and don'ts. That's why you will see Ling and Lot. Ling and Lot as well as Tavya Pratyaya. Ling, Lot, Tavya Pratyaya. Tavya, Karaniyam, Kartavyam. Even the line Atma Vare Drashtavyaha, Shrotavyaha, Vididhyasitavyaha, important line of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Atma Vare Drashtavyaha, Shrotavyaha. Atma should be listened to. It should be seen. All these here, the Ling Lot, the Kriya Padams are Ling Lot. These words are important. The Ling and Lot, they will come, Ling, Lot, Tavya, only when it is a karma. When it is a karma, the Shruti can ordain, can command you to do. Whereas here, in the case of moksha, which is not a karma pala, which is not the result of any karma pala. There is no karma involved. There is no karma involved. But the Shruti uses Ling, Lot, Tavya. So therefore, then we may think that something is to be done. But nothing is to be done. Even though the Ling, Lot, Tavya Pratyas are used, which are generally used in the case of karma where something has to be done. Here also, we may think that something has to be done. That is how the Purva Pakshi will argue. Ling, Lot, Tavya Pratyas are used. Therefore, karma is involved. But there is no karma involved because you are the truth. The Purusha is you. And you are sleeping to the reality of the truth of yourself. Therefore, what karma is required? Moksha is already siddha. Akritaha mokshaha kritena karmana na bhavati. Therefore, wherever it is Ling, Lot, Tavya Pratyas are there, you have to understand in the case of moksha, it is not something karma to be done. It is not a karma to be done. It is, you are sleeping, you get up. Get up to the reality of yourself. You be aware, you be alive to the truth of yourself. Waking up is not really a karma. Waking up to the reality is not a karma. So therefore, no karma is involved. No karma is involved here. So Prapya Varan Nibodhata. Prapya Varan Nibodhata, very important. The same idea is present in Mundaka Upanishad also. Parikshirokan Karmachitan Brahmanaha Nirvedamaya Nastya Kritakritena Tad Vijnanatam Saguru Mevhabi Gachet Samitpanehi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam Lokan Parikshya Karmachitan Brahmanaha Nirvedam Ayat Tad Vijnanatam Gurum Abhigachet. Let him approach the Guru. Gurum Abhigachet. Having examined all the experiences, the Viveki, the Dhira Purushaha, the one who is qualified, the discriminative person, having discovered in the nirvedam, a dispassion in himself or herself, understanding the limitation of the sadhana sadhya, a limited action will produce only a limited result. By action, you cannot create that which cannot be created, which is not created, and that which is not subject to time, therefore it is not created. So therefore that uncreated freedom, to know that, you go to the teacher. You go to the teacher. And the teacher is Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, the one who knows the Shastra, who knows what the Shastra says, who have listened to the Shastra, and who is Brahmanishta, abides in the truth of Atma. From that teacher, approaching the teacher, from that teacher, hear this teaching and wake up from Ajnanam. Wake up from Ajnanam and realize that you are that Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi. This knowledge alone removes samsara, Ajnanam, and therefore samsara. Therefore, Prapyavaran Nibodata. There is no other way. There is no other way of knowing the Vastu without approaching the teacher and asking for this knowledge. That is why it is compared to the edge of the razor. Shurasya dhara nishita duratya durgam patastat kavayo vadanti. Without the teacher and the words of the teacher and the meaning of the words in keeping with the tradition, the Shastram, that the meaning will not be revealed to you unless it is handled by the teacher of the Sampradaya. The teacher may use known words, or sometimes he may use unknown words, but he will give the meaning of the unknown words. Unknown words without background are useless in conveying the Vastu. Known words also cannot convey. Whether it is known words or unknown words, both have to be handled properly. In the tradition, we don't handle unknown words. Known words, but handled properly. Then only it can convey the truth. So therefore, the teacher is one who has the know-how of handling the words of the Shastram, and who has the vision. Therefore, handling of the words will be in keeping with the vision of the Shastram. And the words are known to you. At the same time, the words are handled. The words are handled properly to convey what the Shastram says. It is compared to walking along the razor. It is compared to walking along the razor. If this is done by the person himself without taking the support of the teacher, then it is walking on the razor. If it is done with the help of the teacher, then this walking on the razor will not be a problem. Even though you walk on the razor, but you are supported, you will not slip. Why it is said like that? Why this jnanam is very difficult to accomplish? Why it is compared to walking on the razor's edge? Because pratyaksham, anumanam, and all the other means of knowledge, pramanam, which are available. With all these means of pramanam, one cannot know that knower. Knower cannot be known by the available means of knowledge. This self-ignorance, Atma Ajnanam, the Atma Ajnanam, with regard to oneself, the subject is not known. And the subject is handling pramanam. What pramanam can a subject handle to know the very subject itself? Therefore, unless you use the known and the right words, unless you use the right words, then the whole knowledge will become a mystical thing. The whole knowledge will become mystical, and mystical thing cannot lead you anywhere. That will not reveal the truth. That will not help you in understanding the nature, the truth of yourself. Therefore, right words, the words being what they are, it can be used in the right way and for the wrong reasons. So it should be handled properly. So therefore, this knowledge has to be gained from the teacher who has the right words and he knows how to handle it. The words convey the knowledge. Therefore, Shabda Pramanam. The Shabdas are known, but the Shabdas are to be handled. Therefore, it is walking on the racer's stage. Aham Purnaha. I am complete. But what knowledge I have with regard to myself, Aham Apurnaha, I am limited. There is a big gap. Between Purna and Apurna, the gap is infinite. Purnaham is complete, infinite. Between the Purnatvam and Apurnatvam, the gap is also infinite. Anything which separates you from infinite is an infinite gap. How are you going to fill up this infinite gap? That is only by the Pramanam, Shabda Pramanam, the Shastram. Therefore, Prapyavara Nibodhata. You have to go to the teacher and ask for this knowledge. And there is no other way. There is no other way of knowing it. And Atma is not available for other means of knowledge. Pratyakshadi Pramanam. In the presence of Atma only, the sound is heard. But Atma is not an object of Shrotrendriya, because it is not separate from you. And it is not the object of your sight or touch, and it has no form. Therefore, it is behind all the Jnanendriya, and also cannot be reached by the Karmendriya. In the presence of Atma only, all the Indriyas operate, and also Atma doesn't come and go. It is not subject to change. It is not subject to any change. Shatvikara is not there. And Atma is Nityam. It is Nityam and it is free from time, the Chaitanya Atma. How are you going to know it? You cannot stumble upon Atma. You cannot stumble upon Atma. It has to be known only by operating the Shastram. The Shabda Pramanam is the only Pramanam by which the Vastu can be revealed. Therefore, Prapyavaran Nibodhata. And that is why the second line of the mantra is very important. The second line of the mantra, it compares this, gaining this knowledge is walking on the razor's edge. Kshurasya dhara. Kshurasya dhara means like the edge of the razor. Kshura dhara. Dhara means Kshurasya dhara, edge of the razor. Dhara is edge. And the edge is Nishita, sharpened. Sharpened razor's edge. And it is Dhuratyaya, difficult to walk on. Difficult to walk on. So it is difficult to pass on, difficult to cross on. Therefore, Kavayaha Vadanti. Therefore, the Kavayaha is Jnaninaha, Rishayaha Vadanti. The wise people, they speak. What? Tat Pataha. Tat is tam pataha, durgam, difficult, durgam, it is difficult to walk on. How the edge of the razor is difficult to walk on, similarly, this gaining this knowledge also is difficult. It becomes easy if you get if you approach the teacher, the right teacher, the teacher who is the sampradaya and has the means of handling the words, then it becomes easy. Otherwise, it is difficult to walk on the razor's edge. Like walking on the razor's edge, it becomes very difficult. So therefore, in this mantra, you can see 4 things are talked about. One is uttishtata, gaining jnana yogyata. Gaining jnana yogyata means ascertaining the purushartha nishchaya, understanding the limitations of dharmartha, kama, purushartha, and understanding the importance or the only purushartha, which is moksha purushartha, that is what I seek through, in and through all the other purusharthas. And therefore, understanding that moksha is possible only by knowledge, therefore getting the necessary preparedness for moksha, that is uttishtata. Then jagrata, that is waking up from the sleep of ajnanam. And that is second step. And the wake up is possible only by jnanam. That is the third thing. The fourth thing is, and this knowledge is possible only by approaching the teacher. And this knowledge becomes difficult if the person takes this path on its own. If it becomes very difficult if it is taken casually. Therefore, Shurasya Dara Nishita Duratya Durgam Padastat Kavayo Vadanti iti Upanishad says. Now we can read the Bhashyam. Anadi avidya prasuptaha
Anadi avidya prasuptaha
uttishtata
tishtata
he jantavaha
jantavaha
atmajnana vimukhaha bhavata
Atmajnanabhimukhah bhavataha.
uttishtata. May you get up. And Bhashyakara, it presents it is Madhyama Purusha, therefore Sambodhana is presented. He jantavaha, he mumukshavaha, he adhikarinaha. Iti Bhashyakara supplies a Sambodhana. Jantavaha, O creatures, O human beings. Creature means human being. Jantavaha, Jan means to born. Janana Shilaha, who are born again and again, who are in this cycle of samsara. Samyak sarati, samsara chakre. Te, jantus, jantavaha. Therefore, anadi avidya prasuptaha. The avidya which is anadi, beginningless avidya. Avidya is anadi. Avidya cannot be adi. If ignorance has got adi, then it's a problem. Ajnanam has to be anadi. We don't know when this ajnanam started. It is there since beginningless time. It is there. Then only it can be removed. Avidya is anadi. Therefore, by knowledge we can remove the avidya. If it has a beginning, then the knowledge removes avidya. Now beginning and ends. Again, it can begin also. Therefore, avidya is anadi. Anadi avidya prasuptaha. Suptaha means sleeping, who are sleeping. Prasuptaha purushaha, jantavaha. The one who are sleeping in the beginningless avidya. Therefore, you are in the spell of beginningless avidya, you please get up, arise. So avidya is compared to nidra, sleep. Because in nidra you don't know anything, you are in ignorance. Agam kimapi na janami sukhena maya nidra anubhuyate. That is nidra. In nidra, in sleep, you have got total ignorance. You don't know anything. Therefore, in avidya also like that. So avidya is compared to sleep. Therefore, ajnana nidra, avidya nidra, avidya nidra. That becomes, in fact, that becomes the basis for the swapna, the dream, and the dream is samsara swapna. Because you are in avidya, therefore you dream, and the dream is samsara. Therefore, samsara swapna, which is satyam or mithya, which is mithya, but we don't know that. Therefore, it is avidya, it is ajnanam. So, therefore, avidya is compared to nidra, and all the jivas are comfortably sleeping in it. Therefore, uttishtata iti. Uttishtata, towards what? Atma jnana abhimukhaha bhavata. Bhavata, again here, lotlakara, matima purusha, bhagavachanam. Bhavata. Atma jnana abhimukhaha. May you turn towards Atma jnanam, self-knowledge. Turning towards self-knowledge. Choosing to know. That is the Purushartha Nishchaya. That is the Purushartha Nishchaya. You have conclusively ascertained that moksha is possible only, that moksha is that what I seek through all the Purushartha. The prayers, Dharma, Artha, Kama, they're all limited, got limitations. Therefore, the only way by which I can be free is by gaining the knowledge, which is, and that is moksha. So therefore, understanding that moksha is the only Purushartha, and that is Purushartha Nishchaya, and turning towards that self, turning towards this Purushartha, moksha Purushartha, and Purusha, and that moksha is possible only by knowledge. That's a very big thing. So therefore, first thing is you are a mumukshu. From first mumukshu, you are moksha ichuhu. And understanding that moksha is possible only by knowledge, you become a jigyasu. From moksha icha to jnana icha. That's the biggest conversion can happen. Moksha icha, that is Purushartha Nishchaya. Purushartha Nishchaya, understanding, and therefore you turn towards moksha. You turn towards moksha. Therefore, mumuksha. And that mumukshum, that moksha, being a mumukshu, now understanding that moksha is what really you want, and you become a jigyasu, jnana ichuhu. That is atma jnana abhimukhaha bhavata. So ascertaining the Purushartha Nishchaya, which is moksha, and for moksha, jnanam is the only means. Therefore, you become a jigyasu. Therefore, atma jnana abhimukhaha bhavata. Atma jnana abhimukhaha bhavata. So, you be ready for atma jnanam, self-knowledge. And whatever is to be done for self-knowledge, you please do it. So that is abhimukhaha bhavata. Prepare yourself for atma jnanam, jnana yoga. Katam? By karma yoga and upasana. That is the preparedness. That gives you the preparedness. Karma yogena chitta shuddhihi upasanaya chitta naischalyam. That gives the preparedness for jnana yoga. Therefore, atma jnana abhimukhaha bhavata. Then the next line. Jagrata.
Jagrata.
Ajnana nidrayaha ghora rupayaha.
Ajnana nidrayaha ghora
Sarvanartha bijabhutayaha.
Sarvanartha bijabhutayaha.
Kshayam kuruta.
Kshayam kuruta.
Jagrata. I told this is Chandasa Prayogam. Jagrata is a regular form. It means wake up. May you wake up. May you all wake up. It's Bhagavachanam. Therefore, may you all wake up. Jagra means Nidra Kshaye. That is Jagra. Dhatupata, the meaning will be Nidra Kshaye. Putting an end to sleep. That is called Jagra. Jagrata. Jagrata. Nidrayaha Kshayam Kuruta. Nidrayaha Kshayam Kuruta. That is the meaning. Put an end to Nidra. What Nidra? That is described by the other words. Ajnana Nidrayaha. Ajnanam eva Nidra. Ajnana is a Nidra. Sleep of ignorance. So you put an end. Kshayam. Put an end to this sleep. The sleep of Ajnanam, ignorance. And this ignorance, it is Ghora Rupa. It is not in a very pleasant form. It is Ghora Rupa. Ghora Rupayaha Ajnana Nidrayaha Kshayam Kuruta. Because this Ajnanam, which is samsara, which takes us a jiva for a ride. Jiva suffers and undergoes this cycle of Janma Marana. Therefore, it is of terrible form, Ghora Rupa. So, Ghora Rupayaha, Ajnana Nidrayaha, Kshayam Kuruta. You put an end to this terrible form of the sleep of ignorance. And also, it is Sarva Anartha Bija Bhutayaha. Sarva Anartha. Artha is that which is useful. Anartha is that which is not useful. Not that it is not only useful, it is harmful. It is harmful. Anartha is harmful. Sarva Anartha, all the harmful. All the harmful means samsara, all the problems of samsara. This is the cause for all the problems of samsara. Anartha bija bhutayaha. That which is in the form of seed of all these anartha. All these harmful things. That is a seed for the problems of samsara. This nidra is a seed for the problem of all the samsaras. Kshayam Kuruta. Kshayam Kuruta, you put an end to it. Katam. Katam.
Katham.
Prapya.
Prapya.
Upagamya.
Upagamya.
Varan Prakrishtan Acharyan.
Varan
Prakrishtan
Acharyan
Acharyan.
Tadvidaha.
Tadvidaha.
Tadupadishtam.
Upadishtam.
Sarvantaram Atmanam.
Sarvantaram Atmanam.
Ahamasmi iti nibodhata avagacchata.
Ahamasmi iti nibodhata avagacchata.
Katam. How it is done, how it can be done. Katam, how to destroy this ajnana nidra. Prapya, it is in the moolam. Prapya upagamya. The word upagamya is important. Prapya upagamya, same. Ap dhatu with pra upasarga, pra plus a plus lep, prapya, having attained. Upagamya. The moolam prapya is that Bhashyakara uses upagamya, having approached. Gam means to go. Upagamya, samipe gatva. Here also, prapya is lyap pratyaya, upagamya also lyap pratyaya. So equivalent, another lyap pratyaya word. Yabanta. Upagamya, having reached, having approached. Tan, varan. Varan, prakrishtan, acharyan. Having approached the teacher. Approach is a physical approach. Approaching is a physical approach. Not by email or not by mobile. This is a protocol. That is by Upasadana Vidhi. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam Samitpanihi. Samitpanihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Going to the teacher taking the summit. So it's a physical approach. That's why tadviddi pranipatena. Only when you go physically, then only tadviddi pranipatena. By doing seva, guru shushtrusha, and you can go to the teacher and then you can do seva and then gain this knowledge. So upagamya is very important. So prakrishtan acharyan upagamya. That is varan. Varan is equal to prakrishtan acharyan. Varan means the best. Therefore prakrishtan. Varan, the excellent, the best, which is equal to prakrishtan. Acharyan. Prakrishtan means acharya. Whom will you approach? You will approach only the teachers. Because the teacher only knows. The teacher has this knowledge. Not only that he has the knowledge, he has and he make you know also. That is acharya. Achinoti cha shastrani acharye stapayatyapi. Swayam acharate yasmat tamacharyam prachakshate. Tam acharyam iti prachakshate. Swayam acharati anyan acharayati. He has a vision of the shastram and he can give you the vision of the shastram. Because the life of the teacher also reveals what the shastram teaches. So what is to be practiced? To reveal, to manifest the teaching of the shastram. Because acharya is an embodiment of the teaching. So his life will reveal the teaching. Therefore, guru upasadanam and living with the guru is very important. Therefore, varan acharyan prapya, physically approaching the teacher. And they know tad vidaha. Tat refers to atma. Atma vidaha, brahma vidaha. Brahma vidaha, tad vidaha, brahma vidaha, acharyan, varan acharyan, prakrishtan acharyan, upagamya prapya. Tad vidaha, it is dvitiya vibhakti bhagavachanam. It is a karma. It is the karma. Knower of the Atma, having attained them. For attaining, for prapya, tadvidaha is the karma. And having attained them, nibodhata. Nibodhata is equal to avagacchata. May you know, avagacchata. May you all know, avagacchata. Here it is bhagavachanam, therefore, acharyan is addressing jantavaha or jivaha. So therefore, teachers. O jivaha, you approach the teachers. If it is one jiva, approach the teacher. And having approached, may you know. Avagacchata nibodhata. What is to be known? Tadupadishtam. Tatu upadishtam. What is taught by them? What is taught by them, you know. Nibodhata. Upadishtam nibodhata. Tadupadishtam nibodhata. So, going to the Guru, asking for this knowledge, and what was upadishta? What is upadishta? That you understand. That you understand. And what is taught? The Atma Tattva. The Atma Tattvam is to be understood. And what is this Atma Tattvam? Sarvantaram. Sarva Antaram. That which is pratyak. That which is pratyak. Which is in the form of Sat Chit. The existence, and that is Chit. And it is everywhere. There is no place where it is not. In fact, everything is because of Atma is. Therefore, Sarvantaram. Sarvantaram Atmanam Nibodhata. May you know that Atma which pervades, which is all pervading by the teacher. You know, Tadupadishtam Nibodhata. Tadupadishtam Nibodhata iti. Katam Aham Asmi. Aham Asmi. Aham Asmi iti. In this manner, may you understand, may you know that Atma Tattvam as I am that. Aham Brahma Asmi. Iti Nibodhata, may you understand. Aham Asmi is very important. here the orientation. So far the student may have the orientation that Atma is something available as an object to be objectified. It is not an object. It is a very subject. It is very you yourself that is presented by the Bhashyakara. Aham asmi iti jnanam upadishtam jnanam nibodata avagacchata iti. Then the next line of the Vashyam, the Shruti also gives the caution. Don't take this pursuit for granted. Should not be taken lightly. The casual approach will not work. Therefore, you have to be alert to this pursuit of moksha. And therefore, what should be the approach? That is mentioned. The approach is mentioned. We will read that. Nahi
Nahi
upekshitavyam iti
upekshitavyam iti
shrutihi anukampaya
Shruti anukampaya
aha matruvat
matruvat
ati sukshma buddhi vishayatvat nyeyasya.
ati sukshma buddhi vishayatva nyayasya.
Yes. So the approach is na hi upekshitavyam iti. Na hi upekshitavyam. This pursuit of moksha, na upekshitavyam, should not be neglected. It should not be neglected. The commitment, the sincerity is required for this Atma Tattva Vichara, for the pursuit of Atma Tattva Vichara, which gives jnanam and therefore moksha. There should not be any negligence. Iti Sutihi anukampaya aha, with out of compassion. Anukampanam is compassion. Out of compassion, out of daya, the Shruti does. Why the Shruti does like this? Because Shruti is matravat. Matravat Shrutihi anukampaya aha. The Shruti is like the mother. It has compassion. Therefore, out of compassion, it teaches. It teaches anukampaya aha. It tells anukampaya aha. Matravat anukampaya Shrutihi aha. Na upekshitavyam iti. This should not be neglected. Why? Because it is ati sukshma buddhi vishayatvat nyayasya. This pursuit should not be taken lightly. Therefore, Shruti, out of compassion, it says, na upekshitavyam, don't take it lightly. Why? Because ati sukshma vishayatvat nyayasya. Nyayasya, that is what is to be known. That is nyaya vishayasya. Nyayasya vishayasya ati sukshma buddhi vishayatvat. It is ati sukshma. It is extremely subtle. The Atma is not an object. But still it has to be known through understanding. So therefore it is object of knowledge. But literally, really speaking, it is not an object of knowledge. Like any object of knowledge, what you gain by operating these sense organs, it is not that type of object of knowledge. Because it has to be known through buddhi. For buddhi, it is the object of knowledge. So it is different from the ordinary, the object of knowledge. Nyayasya is that nyaya means what is to be understood. Nyayam. So nyaya means object. Jnanam is knowledge. Jnata is the knower. Jnata, nyayam, jnanam. Jnata is the person who is knowing, the karta. Nyayam is what is to be known. An object is there, but is it like the object what I know through my sense organs? No, not that type of object of knowledge. It is the object of knowledge in the sense it is cognized through the buddhi. And it is sukshma, ati sukshma. It is very extremely subtle. So, because it is extremely subtle, the buddhi also has to be subtle relatively to that extent. It means the buddhi should be focused. It should be subtle. It must have one pointedness. It must have commitment. Therefore, why? Because the object of knowledge, which is Atma, is sukshma, ati sukshma, which is subtle even than the buddhi. It is subtler than the buddhi. Therefore, since the object of knowledge is subtler, therefore this caution is given by the Shruti. Na upekshitavyam iti, Shruti uses caution. What is this sukshma buddhi? Kim iva sukshma, next line. Kim iva sukshma buddhi
Kim iva sukshma buddhi
iti uchyate.
iti uchyate.
Kim iva sukshma buddhi. Okay. Iti uchyate. Buddhi. What is this sukshma buddhi? Iti uchyate. That is being said. Kshurasya dhara
Kshurasya dhara
agram nishita
agram nishita
tikshni krita
tikshni krita
duratyaya
duratyaya
dukkena atyayaha
dukkena atyayah
yasyaha sa duratyaya
yasyaha sa duratyaya
yatha sa padbyam
yatha sa padyam
durgamaniya tatha
durgamaniya tatha
durgam
durgam
dussampadyam ityetat
sampadyam ityetat
pataha panthanam
patah panthanam
tattva lakshanam margam
tattva-jnana-lakshanam margam
kavayaha medhavinaha vadanti.
kavaya veda vadanti.
So this marga, this path, this margam is compared to walking on the sharp edge of the razor. Kshurasya, kshura means razor. Dara, the edge. The edge of the razor is nishita. Nishita means tikshni krita, sharpened. Therefore it is duratyaya. Dukkena atyayaha yasyaha sa. Dukkena atyayaha. In dhatu with ati upasarga, it atyaya. Or I dhatu. I means to go. It is I. Ati plus I to go, not in I. Dukkena atyayaha yasyaha sa. That path, the passing is difficult. Moving is difficult. Dukkena. Moving is difficult. Why? Because it is tikshni krita. It is sharpened. The edge of the razor is very difficult to pass on. Therefore, sa duratyaya. Kshurasya dara. Therefore, duratyaya. Strilinga. This is the drishtanta, the example. As walking on the razor's edge is difficult because it is tikshni krita, it is sharp. Similarly, now the dashtanta, yatasa tata, similarly, padbyam durgamaniya, yata padbyam durgamaniya kshurasya dhara, nishita kshurasya dhara, tata, in the same way, dashtanta is walking on this path of knowledge. Jnana margam lakshanam. Jnana margam lakshanam. Yata padbyam, with the feet, durgamaniya, difficult to walk. Yatha padbyam durgamaniya, duratyaya, Shurasya dhara nishita dhuratyaya. Tata, the same way, tata eva jnanamargam lakshanam. Iti kavayaha medavinaha vadanti. This jnanamarga laksham, this path which is characterized by the knowledge, it's difficult to walk on. It is difficult to walk on. It is difficult to understand. Iti kavayaha. Kavayaha is medhavinaha, the intelligent people. Vadanti, they tell. What does this mean? The difficult path is difficult. The jneyasya ati sukshmatvat vishayasya jnanamargasya dussampadhyatvam vadanti iti abhiprayaha. Iti abhiprayaha. Have you read that line? Jneyasya ati sukshmatvat vishayasya jnanamargasya dussampadhyatvam vadanti iti abhiprayaha. Okay, we can read that line. Jneyasya ati sukshmatvat
अतिसूक्ष्मत्वात्
vishayasya
विषयस्य
jnanamargasya
ज्ञानमार्गस्य
dussampadhyatvam vadanti iti abhiprayaha.
दुःसम्पाद्यत्वं वदन्ति इति अभिप्रायः
Jneyasya ati sukshmatvat vishayasya. Jneyasya ati sukshmatvat. The subject matter of this Atma Jnanam, self-knowledge, it is very subtle. Ati sukshmatvat. Jneyasya, that which is to be known, that is Atma Tattvam, Atma Jnanam. And that is Ati sukshmatvat because it is very subtle. The subject matter is being very subtle. Therefore, vadanti, kavayaha vadanti, dussampadhyatvam, having the status of difficult to attain, to gain. Jnana margasya dussampadhyatvam asti iti kavayaha vadanti. Why? Because jneyasya ati sukshmatva. That is a hetu. The reason for saying why it is difficult, because the subject matter is very sukshma. Therefore, tad vishayasya, sukshma jneya vishayasya, that is the subject matter dealing with that. Since it is very subtle, therefore it is difficult to attain. Dussampadhyatvam, dukkena sampadhyatvam. It has a status of difficult to attain. Iti kavayaha vadanti. Iti abhiprayaha. This is the idea. Therefore, they say it is walking on the razor's edge. This sampadhyatvam. Pataha. Pataha is path. Pataha is path. That is jnana lakshanam. Jnana lakshanam margam. Pataha is equal to pantanam. In the Bhashyam, Bhashyakara gives pantanam. Pataha is path. 2-3. Dvitiya vibhakti Bhagavachanam. Pataha. Nakaranta shabda, pullinga shabda, patin shabda. Pantaha, pantano, pantanaha. Pantanam, pantano, pataha. Bhashyakara uses pantanam because there are no many paths. There are no many paths. Pataha is equal to pantanam. In the line, what you see in the screen, yatasa padbyam durgamaniya tata durgam dussampadhyatvam iti etat pataha. Pataha is equal to pantanam. Pataha bhagavachanam. So it may create a doubt. Are there many paths? No. Pantanam, only one path. Therefore, the word pantanam is significant. Only one path. Pantanam, dvitiya vibhakti ekavachanam. Pantanam is equal to tat jnana lakshanam margam. Only one path. In fact, it is not a path. We don't use the word path also. It is the only means of gaining that which is already you. So, pantanam tat jnana margam lakshanam kavayaha vadanti. Durgam iti kavayaha vadanti. Why it is Durga? Because ati sukshmatvat Vishayasya. Tad Vishayasya ati sukshmatvat. Therefore, Jnana Margasya. Therefore, Jnana Margasya, that is Jnana Pataha, the path of Jnanam, Dusampadhyatvam, iti Kavayaha vadanti. Iti Medhavinaha, Kavayaha, wise people say. Now, how do you decide whether the subject matter of a thing is difficult or easy? If you have the preparedness, then it is not difficult. If you are not prepared, then it is going to be difficult. So the difficulty of any knowledge decided by two things. One is the preparedness on the part of the sadhaka. Second one is it depends on the object of knowledge. Two things decides. If you have the preparedness, 50% is done. Then what about the other 50%? That is decided by the object of knowledge, the Jnaya Vishayam. Difficulty is decided by the Jnaya Vishayam. And here the Jnaya Vishayam is Atma, which is Sukshma, Ati Sukshma, extremely subtle. As it is extremely subtle, therefore it is difficult. That is why Kshurasya Dhara. Because it is subtle subject matter, therefore it is difficult to grasp. If it is grosser, then it would be easy to grasp, to understand the subject matter. If the subject matter is gross, then it is easy. Like if you take the Prithvi, Prithvi is the grossest element. Prithvi, which has got all the Pancha Guna, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, all the 5 gunas are there. The more the number of gunas, the more grosser will be the thing. The more grosser, the more gunas are there, the more grosser it will be. Less gunas, it will be less grosser, it means subtle. Lesser the number of gunas, then it will become subtle. The subtlety increases. So, the most subtlest is Akasha. The most grossest is Prithvi. Akashad Vayuhu, Vayo Agnihi, Agnehe Apaha. Apaha is the next Ap of Prithvi. Prithvi is the grossest. Then, subtler than the Prithvi is the Apaha. But it is also gross only. It has got 4 gunas. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa. Except Gandha, it has got all the 4 gunas. Then the next one is Agni. Agni has got 3 gunas. Therefore, it is subtler than the Apaha. Apaha is water. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa. 3 gunas are there. Then Vayu. Vayu has got 2 gunas. Shabda and Sparsha. So, if you see the order of subtlety, it is become subtle and subtle. The last one is Akasha. It has got only Shabda Guna. Shabda Gunatmakam Akashaha. Akasha. It is got only 1 guna. The lesser the number of gunas, the more the subtle is. And what about this Atma? Atma is subtler than the Buddhi. Buddhi is made up of this the 3 gunas, the Panchikrita of the 3 gunas of the 5 elements. And Atma is subtler than that. Therefore, Ati Sukshmatvat, it is difficult to know. Because it is not available for Buddhi to objectify like Prithvi, etc. Therefore, unless the mind is made subtle to understand the subject matter which is subtler, it will be difficult. How to make it subtler? You cannot make the Buddhi subtler. Buddhi being what it is, making the Buddhi understand, appreciating that Atma is not available for the other means of knowledge. Not available for the other means of knowledge. It is Shastrena Pratipadita Vishaya. Therefore, certain Sukshmatvam, certain preparedness is required for the Buddhi to appreciate this. That is what the Ati Sukshmatva, the Ati Sukshmat, Buddhi also should be sukshma. Ati sukshmatvat Vijnaya Vishayasya. Therefore, the means of knowing that also should be relatively subtle to it. Therefore, Sukshma Buddhi, Sukshma Buddhya, Sukshma, the previous mantra we saw, Sukshma Buddhya, Agraya Sukmaya Buddhya iti. That is a Sukshma Buddhi. That Sukshma Buddhi has to be gained. That Sukshma Buddhi has to be gained. Because the object of knowledge is subtle, therefore the Buddhi also has to be relatively subtle. Buddhi should be as subtle as the edge of the razor, sharpened razor. If you have this, the Buddhi sharp, like the razor which cuts the paper, sharp, smoothly it cuts, because the razor edge are very sharp. Then only if the Buddhi is sharp, it can penetrate into the words and understand what the Shastra conveys. So, therefore, the Buddhi also has to be sufficiently prepared. And that is achieved by Karma Yoga and Upasana. Upasana is very important. That focus is important. That Chitta Naishchalyam is important. The one pointedness, the commitment to the subject matter. That is important. That is why Buddhi, Buddhya. Because Jnana Vishayatvat, therefore Buddhi. Because it is the subject matter for knowledge. Therefore, Buddhi. And the subject matter being subtle, therefore Buddhi has to be relatively subtle. Then, the next line. Tat katam ati sukshmatvam yesya iti uchyate.
Tat katam ati sukshmatvam yesya iti uchyate.
Tat katam, how is that subtleness of the thing, that is the Brahma, to be known? Ati sukshmatvam yesya brahmanaha katam bhavati. That being said, stula tavadiyam
Stula tavadiyam
medini shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha upachita.
Shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha upachita.
Sarvendriya vishayabhuta tatha shariram.
Sarvendriya vishayabhuta tatha shariram.
Tat katam ati sukshmatvam jnayasya iti uchyate. How do you say that the thing which is to be known, that Brahma, is extremely subtle? If you ask, then it is told. What is that? Stula tavadiyam medini shabdasparsha rupa rasa gandha upachita sarvendriya vishayabhuta tatha shariram. Medini means iyam medini. Tavat iyam medini, tavadiyam medini, tavat iyam medini, this prithvi. Medini is prithvi, earth, which is shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha upachita, which is collected, accumulated of these five gunas: shabda guna, sparsha guna, rupa guna, rasa guna, and gandha, which is collected, which is the collection of these five gunas, which is endowed with these five gunas. Upachita, gathered, collected. This medini, iyam medini, therefore it is tula. Therefore it is grosser. It is gross. It is grossest, in fact. It is grossest. Iyam medini, upachita. It's the accumulator or the collection of these five gunas. Therefore, stula, tata shariram. And Sarvendriya Vishayabhuta, because it has got all the five gunas, therefore it is available for the perception of all the sense organs. Sarvendriya Vishayabhuta Medini. Why? Because all the five gunas are there. Therefore, all the five sense organs can objectify. Because all the five gunas are there. So, for all the five sense organs, Sarvendriya, Sarva Jnanendriya Vishayabhuta Yam Medini. Yata tata shariram. As it is so in the case of Prithvi, similarly, shariram also. Similarly, this body also. This body of ours is the grossest because it has got all the 5 gunas. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Therefore, it is available, it is accessible to all the 5 sense organs. Sarvendriya Vishaya Bhuta, Sarvendriya Vishaya Bhutam, Idam Shariram. Yata Medini, Tata Shariram. As the Prithvi, which is made up of 5 gunas, it's available for all the sense organs of perception. So too the Shariram is, the body is, which is made up of 5 gunas. Therefore, it is available for the perception of all the sense organs. So the more the number of gunas, the more grosser is, and therefore available for the sense organs. What about Atma? That is what the next mantra is going to say. And for that, Bhashyakara gives a Sangati through these lines. Whatever line we read now, it is Sangati connecting the next mantra, which is a very important mantra. Important mantra, we will see that. We will see that in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
धन्यवाद जी.
धन्यवाद जी.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ जी.